All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another amazing episode of Churro, the hardest to pronounce pop culture podcast on the planet. I'm your host, Brian, a.k.a. B. Hearn, and today I'm joined with...
Jordan.
Yay!
Yay! Jordan, my daughter, not Jordan Brown. He's
Jordan.
Off today.
lady Jordan.
I hope they can differentiate.
You don't know.
You definitely smell better.
Oh,
Hey, it's J Don, a.k.a. Don King Schultz.
I'm just Matthew.
Anybody?
I'm just Ryan Silver. I want to talk about OBJ, but we'll take that to another place. Captain Cleveland. Browns, baby!
So today we are going to be talking about one Quentin Jerome Tarantino.
Rome.
Turning 56 by the time we probably air this episode in 2 weeks. So we're going to talk about the man, the myth, the legend that is Quentin Tarantino and his tremendous catalog that he has. And we are going to kick it off with Captain Cleveland himself, Ryan Saba.
So, do you want to go favorite character for each of us, or you want to just go down the list?
Let's go down the list of everything we talked about, and we'll just knock it out and chime in.
Sounds good. Okay. So, I as we were prepping for the you okay? Did you hurt yourself?
I'm good. I think I twisted an ankle somehow.
Sitting down in a chair.
Who needs a train when you got being hurt? So I was talking as we were kind of prepping for the, doing the sound check and everything about how much I enjoyed prepping for this. I think, we all understand the genius that Tarantino is, but I think until you kind of start going back through and taking that trip down memory lane, it was a little overwhelming. So we're going to start with my favorite character. I think there's a lot of great characters. What I elected to do, instead of look at sort of the main characters, because I think we all know the list, and I won't say it because I want there to be a little effect when you guys do yours. I looked at my favorite supporting character.
I like that.
Yeah. And I did two. And I know we wanted to keep it to one, but I couldn't. My number
let's go nuts.
Favorite character, or number two, I guess, is Vincenzo Caccati. Does anybody know who Vincenzo Caccati is? He is the Christopher Walken character in True Romance. Now I understand that Quentin Tarantino did not direct True Romance, but he wrote it.
It counts. It totally counts.
It still counts.
In my book.
Yeah.
That character's only on screen for about 7 minutes, but it's some of the most memorable, and I will talk about that.
Oh, man.
My number one favorite character is the Wolf, baby. Winston Wolf, the Harvey Keitel character from Pulp Fiction. He's a fixer. He said, "Shit, you sending the Wolf? That's all you had to say, me, bro." I just love it. And the other note, you know what? I'm gonna leave that one alone. I as doing my research, I found Tarantino's favorite character, but I think that one of you is probably gonna talk about this individual, so I'll wait till we're done for that. The worst character, my least favorite character. This was tough because I think all of Tarantino's characters have their own sort of essence to them. My least favorite character was Nice Guy Eddie. The Chris Penn character in Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
Why did I hate him? 2 reasons.
Talking about Daddy the whole time?
He's always he's always yelling, and he's a 30-year-old man who refers to his dad as Daddy.
Yeah.
Daddy's pissed. Like, I don't know, man. I didn't like him.
I think that's a sign of good acting, though, that you hate him that much.
And
Right.
R.I.P. Chris Penn.
Yeah.
So don't want to talk badly, but he's my least favorite of
The character.
Of the characters,
Great
not the
characters.
person, not the
Yes,
individual.
yeah.
Just the characters.
My favorite Tarantino movie is Pulp Fiction. I think it's probably going to be a common theme as we go through here. Close second is Reservoir Dogs, but Pulp Fiction, the cast, the story, the memorable lines and scenes. It's a masterpiece. I think that. He brought back John Travolta.
Yeah.
He did.
Obviously, all of the characters in that movie and just the story and how it doesn't. It was the first time I remember watching a movie that the story didn't go in sequence.
Right.
Bruce Willis, when it's a chopper, baby, it's a chopper, and they drive off. That's actually the end of the movie, but it happens halfway through.
Right.
So I love it. My least favorite / most overrated, it's not the same. I would say that my least favorite is Kill Bill Volume 2. I think Kill Bill, the Volume 1 was so outstanding.
Yeah, the bar was so high.
And I know that now it's sort of one movie, but the reality is I was there when it came out, and they released it in 2, and I think that was probably my least favorite of the Tarantino movies. Now, I have not seen Grindhouse, so that's a little disclaimer there. I thought the most overrated was Hateful Eight. I think it got a lot of critical acclaim. He did the special thing where he filmed it on special widescreen and all this.
Right.
I didn't love it, and that's it. I'll leave it at that. My favorite scene, there are so many that I had to pick 3. My third favorite scene is the diner scene from Reservoir Dogs. I think everything about that scene, it's what introduced us to the
tipping, right?
Yeah, well, it's tipping and like a virgin.
But it's like hitmen and like bad guys as like normal guys,
right?
Like talking about normal stuff.
Yeah,
like
it's like
tipping
when they go to the Pitcher's Mound in Bull Durham, where they're just shooting the shit. They're not even talking
right.
sports. It's like that.
It introduced us to just sort of the master of dialogue and interaction and just funny. Just everyday conversations. Like, we would be sitting there having a conversation about tipping. And, like, I could totally see myself going, look, man, she only filled my coffee up twice.
That's a Seinfeld episode in the middle of Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, and the whole like a virgin thing is just priceless. Number 2, I referred to it earlier, the Sicilian scene from True Romance with Dennis Hopper, Christopher Walken, and a young Jim Gandolfini in there. Sicilians are great liars is kind of how it starts, and it ends with him shooting him and going, I haven't killed anybody since 1984. Like, it's outstanding. I rewatched the scene today, and I was just like, oh my god. So
Dennis Hopper's character just pisses him off so
but
much.
it's just like, it's classic because he knows. Look, honestly, I think that, and I've seen...
He knew what buttons to push on him.
I've seen a lot of movies from both of those guys. That may be each of their, just in a short sample size, like greatest short piece performance.
So good.
Number 1, the opening scene of Pulp Fiction, really more so after they get out of the car. The whole foot massage scene with Anthony Rockamore, Tony Rocky.
You don't be tickling or anything, man.
Like, I'm the foot fucking master. I don't be tickling or nothing. Like, just this whole like dialogue about, how foot massages and
what they mean.
Yeah. Is it worth murder?
And like throwing, since then he kind of developed a speech impediment, like throwing this dude out of a window. Like it's classic. And the reality is they're going to fucking kill people.
Right.
Let's hang back for a minute, and it's just like, it's classic. So that's sort of my rundown.
That's a good one.
I love it.
That's
love
a
it.
good
Good rundown,
I
man.
like that scene. I feel like we're going to spend a lot of time on this, but I really liked Hateful Eight.
I'm sorry.
Oh, so you're the one.
Yeah. I'm the one. I've got the Blu-ray and the bonus features.
Dude, I watched it on a plane, and I freaked out people, like, watching it. Or I guess my reaction to it.
What was your reaction?
Well, the one scene, I was fucking horrified.
Sam Jackson in the
Yeah,
snow.
yeah.
In the snow?
Yeah.
Oh. His big
I'm
black
sure the other people sitting next to you on the plane didn't appreciate that.
I'm on the plane. I was like, oh, God. And people were wondering what was wrong with me.
For the second time.
Yeah. after I stepped on the plane.
Same flight, by the way.
I feel like it was like Tarantino's version of Clue, like a whodunit,
It certainly was.
And it was just
definitely
in
was.
one room.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people's complaints are, that it was just in one room.
Overrated doesn't mean bad, though.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I split it up to least favorite and most overrated, because I think you can be, an all-star in you can be an all-star in basketball, and if people are saying that you're, a superstar, it means you're being overrated. It doesn't mean you're not good.
Right.
Fair enough.
Sports, right? Sports
segments.
My least favorite was Death Proof. I didn't really enjoy that.
Yeah.
I just thought it was too much.
Cool cars.
What was the Planet Terror?
Yeah.
that was cool for what it was, but they both came out at the same time. It was a
Yeah.
double feature, and ain't but so much I could take of all of that. So
Yeah.
I was over it. I think straying away from, like, let's say the Illmatics. So
Sure.
the Illmatics going to be like Pulp Fiction,
Yeah.
Right.
Reservoir Dogs, and the Kill Bill.
Yeah.
I would put Kill Bill 1 up there.
Oh,
anyway.
yeah.
Certainly.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to lean more towards like Django,
Love it.
Nice.
and the acting in Django is incredible. Sam Jackson, man, he's an incredible actor, especially when he gets with Tarantino.
He made Leo a monster, man.
Yeah.
But you still liked him.
Yeah.
Who that damn nigga on that day? But yeah, I really, really, really appreciated Django and like the authenticity of it.
Yeah.
And even the small roles in there too, like Walter Goggins, is just fantastic.
Don
He's not
Johnson.
in there as much as he is in Hateful Eight, but when he's in there, it's powerful.
Right.
Don Johnson.
Exactly. Big
Moonlight.
Daddy.
Moonlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You go hold my hand.
Oh yeah, the first time I saw Pulp Fiction, it was like in high school, and it was on at a high school. Like we were at like somebody's house, and we were all fucking around, and it was just on in the background, and I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
And it kept jumping from scene to scene, and it was all out of place, out of sorts. And I'm like, I gotta sit down and watch this at another time. So I did, and it was like nothing I've never seen before. So that's why I say it's like Illmatic. Like there's nothing like that aside from other Tarantino flicks.
Just the horror of the adrenaline shot scene. Like even now, like I can't really watch it. Like when I'm watching it, I'll fast forward through that. I'm just like, fuck this. I can't watch somebody stick a needle in somebody's heart. Stay off.
And that wasn't no small needle.
Stay off heroin, kids.
Again, Sam Jackson. Like it's kind of like inspiring. Like when he's at the end, he's like, it's the one that says "bad motherfucker" on it. Like, give me my wallet and get the fuck out.
What else? What else would my wallet look like?
Bitch, be cool.
Be cool.
Be cool, honey bunny.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. Like, I don't think I can pull a favorite scene. I mean, obviously, you've got the Reservoir Dog scene with the ear and the stuck in the middle with you.
Yes.
Song placement was fantastic.
Even the Beatrix versus the Crazy 88.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
That's awesome.
really
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
The way that it was filmed.
Like 20 different ways.
Oh, yeah.
Like that
Black
one
and white.
scene.
And when they
it was
turned the
all
lights
color.
And it
off,
was-
yeah.
seamless.
Like the
Yeah.
blue back, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fucking
And even the
awesome.
scene after that, when she's with Oren.
Yeah.
In
I
the
mean,
snow.
it's incredible.
Yeah, the snow in the background,
Yep.
the backdrop's just beautiful.
Yeah, so
So you can pick a scene.
I think I
You
did.
did
I think
good,
I just
man.
picked two. and well, I'll pick another one with what's his name, Leo, when he actually bleeds.
Yeah.
Yes, that
Yeah.
was not planned.
It was not planned.
Nope.
Yeah, he actually cut
He
himself,
he,
and they
he
told him
cut
to keep-
himself
he
and then put
kept
his
going.
blood on what's her face?
Yeah.
Face.
Kerry Washington.
Yes,
Whatever.
her.
What's her name?
Scandal.
Pumpkin pie. Or whatever.
Pumpkin
What is her
pie.
name in that? Django.
It's like some.
Broomhilda.
Broomhilda.
Pumpkin
pie.
Pumpkin pie Brunhilde.
So what's your you in typical Matt fashion? You were very positive throughout there. I need a lead. What is your least? You said Death Proof.
Death Proof.
Oh, yeah.
What is
I
your
wasn't
least
a fan of it.
favorite? Shit, I don't want
Either
to put
character
You on the spot. I don't want
or-
to put him on the spot because least favorite character is probably the thing that I worked the hardest on. So I'm not gonna. Put
I
you
actually
pulled
did
that
not-
off,
I did
too.
not work that hard on mine.
There's
Mine
a
was
di-
immediate.
There's a definitive
Really?
answer, guys.
Is there?
I'll get it
We'll
when we
wait
get
till
to
it
me.
gets
I'll
to you,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
Fuck,
we go.
it'll probably be mine. So.
Well, give Hateful Eight
You've seen it.
some love. Is all I'm saying.
I'll watch. So I've only seen it once. I'll give it another shake.
It's hard to get
Just
through
for
though.
you.
It's hard to get through.
It's
I will
just-
admit that because it's just
Oh, it's got some great parts
It's
in it.
one
Don't get
room.
me
It
wrong.
does, though.
It does.
It does.
It does. It is.
Some
It's
parts.
a little rough to get through.
the
though.
strange twist where Sam Jackson had the letter from Lincoln.
Right?
Yeah.
Like-
yeah.
No, you don't.
And then Kurt
Douglas.
Doug-
Or,
No.
Kurt Russell,
Cobain.
breaking the like multi-million-dollar guitar from Gibson or whatever. Like he accidentally broke the guitar that was from a museum.
What?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. There was a like priceless guitar in that movie. That
Why
they
was it
used.
in there?
I don't know, because somebody is an idiot.
Oh,
And they
okay.
but yeah, he broke that guitar, and it was the guitar. Yeah,
It's interesting.
check it out.
I will.
Google it.
When I watch it the second time, I'll text you.
And who was the girl?
Oh, old girl from
Old girl.
Yeah.
You know how we do on the show, man. We're not
Man,
that
I probably
accurate.
should have prepped.
The,
Like,
you
I
know,
don't.
the girl from
Jennifer
the
Jason Leigh.
Jennifer
Jennifer
Jason Leigh. She did very well.
She was awesome.
But that's how I like reference people. She was the one.
She was the girl.
in,
Yeah.
You
Well,
know
what was she in?
whatever.
What were you gonna say?
The when the girl had the dick.
Crying.
Crying
Boys
game.
don't, I was like, boys don't cry?
When the girl had the dick. Hangover 2.
Single white female.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Was she not in Crying Game?
I don't think so. I'm going down the list now. It's like everything but the crying
I think
game.
single white female is what somehow in my database. Single white female and Crying Game
Yep,
becomes.
she's in
She was a single white female.
Yeah, she's
Yes.
in The Hitcher, Dolores Claiborne. I do not see Crying Game anywhere on here. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So either way,
A
Jennifer
girl had a
Jason
dick
Leigh,
in
we love
single
you.
white female?
No,
I'm so confused.
completely wrong movie. Hi, I'm playing the role of Jordan Brown.
He's doing 2 roles today, double. Before we get to Jerry, we're going to take a quick little commercial spot.
This is a tasty burger.
There's a proverb that says, where beer is brewed, all is well. And where beer is drunk, life is good. Four Saints Brewing Company meets both those standards. Enjoy great beer for great people in a comfortable and relaxing family-friendly environment. Life is good at Four Saints with weekly events, including trivia, a run club, and live music with no cover. There's more info at foursaintsbrewing.com. Then visit Four Saints Brewing Company right here in downtown Asheboro. We look forward to pouring you a pint of great beer for great people soon.
Whose motorcycle is this?
It's a chopper, baby.
Whose chopper is this?
Zed's.
Who's Zed?
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
And we are back from that nice little commercial timeout from our brand new sponsors. Just want to give a big shout out to Four Saints Brewery in Asheboro. If you're in the area, please go by and check them out. Trivia night every Thursday.
Coolest place in Asheboro.
All
It's
kinds
delicious.
of good stuff. It is good,
Say hi to
really good
Joel.
beer. And say hi to Joel and the guys.
Although
for
the
us.
zoo's cool, but
It's the biggest zoo in the United States now, right?
States, yes.
So yeah, home to the biggest zoo in the United States.
And
And
most-
Four
Asheboro.
Saints.
Asheboro, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
All right,
mostly
bro.
walking, though.
Yeah,
Like, it's such a shitty zoo.
massive.
It's just so much walking.
it's a lot.
Do they have
you,
lions?
need to be able to like rent go-karts
Do they
there.
have
Yeah.
lions?
They have polar bears.
Lions, polar bears,
Do they have tigers?
tigers,
I've only been there once.
Giraffes.
I need to go back.
We
Giraffes you can feed.
We went back in like 2012. I think
Giraffes
that was
you
the last
can
time I took
feed.
my daughter.
What?
Yeah.
Man.
Do they have otters? I like the little.
Everybody loves otters. Let's get back to Tarantino. So we are talking about the man, the myth, Quentin Jerome Tarantino, turning 56 this year. Jerry, what do you got for us?
Well, I mean, I've been training for this episode since 94?
Yeah.
What can you say about the guy? He's a genius. He creates some of the most amazing movies ever made. He takes a style, a movie type style, and he starts with that, and then he just makes his own version of that. And I really respect that. And he's made some killer movies. He's made, I mean, I don't.
Thriller, man.
He made Thriller. But no, going off some of my favorite things, my top overall favorite character from any Quentin Tarantino movie has got to be Dr. King Schultz from Django Unchained.
Nice.
What a positive, ally to have in these times. You know what I mean? Like here's a guy that's, he's from Europe. He kind of understands these wacky Americans and what they're, doing. And he comes over here with a very positive attitude. He can't stand, slavery. He can't stand what's going on, but he also is a realist, and he's going to use that situation to his advantage. And by doing so, he really inspires a lot of really amazing people in Django Unchained, and he's amazing.
It's such a good actor, though.
Oh yeah.
Wow. As far as I can't remember his name in Inglourious Bastards. Hans Landa.
Hans Landa.
Hans Landa is the most ruthless, evil motherfucker you could imagine. And then the very next movie, you've got Dr. King Schultz as like the coolest, most good, wonderful person you could ever think of. Yeah, so what? He kills people for a living.
That's
it doesn't
another
matter.
good one,
He's
though.
still a good person, you know?
Inglourious Bastards. That's another good one.
Yeah, so
That shows his range.
Should-
I mean,
go unmentioned.
That's the character that Tarantino said was his favorite that he's ever done is Hans
Landa.
Landa.
Oh,
And I
God.
wanted
Okay.
to stay away from that, but that scene at the beginning of Inglourious Bastards where they're like trying to find the Jews that are
Yes.
up onto there, like I've never been more uncomfortable.
I was terrified.
watching a movie when there wasn't like
I wasn't even hiding. I paid to watch
Yeah.
the movie,
But
and I was
there wasn't-
terrified.
Like there wasn't like anything. Like it was just two people sitting there talking. I've never been that uncomfortable in my life.
So crazy. But sorry to jump around so much, but Dr.
It
King
is St.
Schultz.
Patrick's Day,
House
so
of
jump
Pain.
around, buddy.
There we go.
But I'm gonna just jump right into favorite scenes. I mean,
like
I
it.
think we've already touched on the stabber 3 times scene, but that's one of my all-time favorite snes with the needle and trying to revive.
3 times.
It's just such a
Miss
great
Mia
scene, and
Wallace.
the dialogue, even like leading up to it too. Where he's like, "When you bring a bitch that's OD in the
Right.
you can shot."
Yeah, we'll bring it to my house.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, you brought her here, you're giving the shot.
Who is this? I don't know you. Prank caller. Prank caller. Like, wait a minute. Are you on a cell phone?
The entire scene is great. Like trying to find the magic marker, like trying to find the little black medical book. Like it's great. It's like high intensity, high stress.
Oh, yeah.
But it's hilarious at the same time.
She shot right up.
And then you guys didn't. No one's mentioned 4 Rooms yet. But Tarantino directed like a quarter of this movie, 4 Rooms, and that actually was another one of my favorite scenes.
Which one was his? I'm
His
trying
was
to
the
remember.
last scene with Bruce Willis
what I
and
thought.
himself, and and so that scene made my top list is the light your lighter 10 times in a row versus chop off your pinky scene. It came. I believe they referenced a show that they got that from. Peter Lorre was in it, and so it's really funny. It's the butler or the bellboy running around trying to make that money, and so he goes through like a lot of shit and anguish to get that, and then finally by this part in the movie he's just had it and he's like, fuck it, let's do it. And so I think if he wins, he pockets, I don't know, like 10 grand or however many hundreds Tarantino put on the table in front of him. And so that scene's really cool. 4 Rooms is really cool, if not for just the last scene. But the whole thing's pretty good. And then my number one favorite scene is when Hans Landa gets his. In the end of Inglourious Bastards, he thinks he's gotten away with it. He's put together this great plan to get him out from under U.S. or the Allies' justice. And so, right when you think he's going to get away with all of it, Aldo Range just is like, "No, this is how it is. You are going to wear this proudly for the rest of your life." And then. You know what happens.
Oh yeah,
he's you know
Gonna
what?
kill some Nazis.
Hey, you're getting good at that. You're really getting good at that.
yeah.
And that was also B.J. Novak from The Office.
Yeah.
He was in
Yeah.
that movie.
I always
And then-
forget that he's in that.
Yeah. He's a little guy. He was in the theater with
little
them,
guy.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or was
yeah. I love to hate that guy.
Yeah. Good old Ryan from The Office.
Yeah.
And my absolute least. This is the one, the given, the absolute most hated, least favorite characters in any Tarantino movie have got to be Zed and Maynard. Come on.
All right, good. Mine's still out there.
You definitely don't want to find yourself in Maynard's pawn shop. Let's
Zed's
Bring out
dead,
the
baby.
gimp.
Get the gimp.
what I
Zed's
got.
dead.
I hear you. And then
fuck
we got
Zed,
Jordan up. What do you got as far as favorite Tarantino? I know you haven't seen the whole entire catalog, but you've seen the majority of it.
No, not even majority. I've seen like 3.
Well, what do you got?
I think my favorite is Django Unchained. I just recently watched that with you, and I don't know. I haven't stopped thinking about it. I just think about it all the
It
time.
does that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just one of those like not only hilarious, but like really like raw, truthful movies.
And it's fucked up that it's
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
In true Tarantino
Laugh at my
fashion.
pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just shows slavery in a really raw like fashion. I feel like people should watch it so they can see like how horrible it was. I think it's a big eye opener.
for sure.
It's like a history lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
D'Artagnan, motherfucker.
I don't know. I have a tie between my two favorite characters. One is Dr. Schultz, and the other is Oren Ishii.
Nice.
She's
Yes.
my all-time favorite villain
I like
ever.
that.
I dare you
Yeah.
to
Her
bring up my
whole spiel
heritage.
at the dinner
God.
table.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's-
goodness gracious.
I'm gonna say this shit in English.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. Is like one of my favorite scenes is when she gets on top of the table and runs across
Yeah.
and chops his head off.
Fucking awesome.
I also like the scene in Django Unchained where he finds two of the Brittle brothers and like just goes at it with the whip, like
Yeah.
Whip me in
just
his
over
ass.
and over. And all the people are watching, and then Dr. Schultz gets him out of it again, and he shoots him on the horse, the other Brittle brother. I also like this scene's just funny. The one where Jonah Hill and the other guy are like rounding up the KKK,
Oh my God.
and they're talking about
Cut these sheets.
Yeah.
She said she was up all night.
The shitty mask.
they're just talking about the mask. the
Out
whole
about
time.
that.
Next time,
You
get your own
ungrateful
damn
sons of
sheets.
bitches.
Fucking forgot about
That scene is so good. I forgot about it too until her and I watched it again, and I was like, "How do you forget about this scene?" And
how
Jonah Hill
hard-
just sitting there.
How hard is it to cut two holes in a bag?
I can't see shit.
What else?
Did you see Kill Bill 2?
No, I saw Kill Bill 1,
Yeah.
but I've heard even when I was at my UNCSA interview today, the man I was talking to we were talking about Kill Bill, and he was like, the first one's like way better than the
So
second
good.
one.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, the second one's mostly
story.
story.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love Kill Bill.
backstory too.
Yeah.
I
You just gotta push them together and say it's one movie.
Yeah, you do.
Agreed.
There's
I
no
talked
question.
about Kill Bill more so too that like just how like vengeful and powerful it just shows women is something I like, how like relentless they can be. And I don't know, it's like a woman powered movie and he shouldn't have been ahead of his time, but he was. Like
Yeah.
people are still ignorant. But that's really good. I love every character in there except one of my not my least favorite, but the most evil character. I don't know, not even evil. I just don't like Elle Driver.
Yeah.
'Cause I just don't like her. That's it.
The California mountain snake.
Yeah.
With the eye patch.
Yep. That
Yeah.
scene, though.
So watch Kill Bill
the
2.
nurse scene when you first see her, though.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
outfit
With
I was
the
like,
whistle,
oh.
and the
whistling.
whistling in the background.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Solid.
I mean, that
Yeah.
scene's iconic.
Yeah.
Put a black mamba in his trailer.
I really like the animation scene in Kill Bill of Oren
Yeah.
Ishii's
Awesome.
Yeah, when she was a
backstory.
yeah,
Coming up.
That's really good.
That's awesome. That's part of the
Yeah.
reason why I love that character so much. Just seeing
Not
how
for nothing.
she
I was
became an
kind of
assassin.
expecting it in part 2 also, but I didn't know how they were going to do it, and they didn't. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Riddle solved.
Part one's more like Yakuza, like, ninjas and stuff, and part 2 is kind of like more like cowboy, like.
in the beginning, but then
Yeah.
they go to her training and all of that. Like
Oh, then it goes
Yeah.
right into the kung fu training
the-
too.
Yeah.
That shit
the
was
guy,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what you got?
Yeah.
Excellent. Good job. Before we get to me, we're going to take a quick little time out for a sponsor ad.
You shoot me in a dream, you better wake up and apologize.
We'd like to take the time to thank one of our sponsors, Andrew Newman, attorney at law. Located here in Greensboro, North Carolina, he can assist you with your criminal as well as traffic violations, and his practice includes Guilford, Forsyth, as well as all surrounding counties. To set up a free consultation, you can contact him at 336-663-2388, and you can also visit him on his website, attorneynewman.com.
Gentlemen, you have my curiosity. But now you have my attention.
All right, and we are back. We've been talking about Quentin. I don't know why I enjoy saying Jerome so much. Quentin Jerome.
Rome in the house.
Rome. From our Martin fans in the audience. Tarantino turned into a big 5-6 this year. As far as my list, I do have a couple honorable mentions as far as favorite character goes. We've kind of, I wouldn't say harped on him, but talked on him a little bit. So Lieutenant Aldo from Inglourious Bastards. Elle Driver is actually one of my favorites. I know it's your least favorite, but
So it's
she's
characters
one of mine.
you love to hate
It's not my
that did a
least
great
favorite.
job.
It's just
Right,
yeah,
right.
like,
Exactly.
Like
And
I hate Hans Landa, but I love the performance.
Exactly.
He
Yeah.
did a
Exactly.
great job.
That's how I feel about Bud.
I love Bud,
dude,
man. I
but
love him just because he's a piece
his
of shit.
performance.
Michael
like, he's
Madsen.
like-
yeah.
yeah.
I have
He's very honest.
Elle Driver is
about
the
himself.
character I actually have in my car, like glued
Yeah.
to my thing. So I don't hate her.
I didn't
it's
say
just,
it.
she
That's
dressed as a
least
nurse.
favorite.
it's
Least
just like
favorite.
yeah, with the eye patch. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then, as I mentioned, Walton Goggins as in Django, and then of course as Sheriff Chris Mannix in Hateful Eight. So Hateful Eight's not in my top 3 or 4. It's a decent movie. His performance, the performances are great in there. It's just not one of my favorite Tarantino films. So, and then I got to go with Marcellus Wallace in Pulp Fiction as far as my favorite character. That
was good,
some of those
Jerry.
lines are classic. He's one of those characters where he's so big and imposing, he doesn't have to say much, but when he talks, you listen.
Yeah.
And I think it's just perfect.
The
And-
scene with him and Bruce Willis, that's probably
Yeah.
fucking.
And the crazy thing is, all you're seeing is the back of his neck too.
Yeah.
So it's more what you're hearing, and then you're just seeing the Band-Aid on the back of the neck, and it just shows like how powerful of an actor and performance he can.
And then obviously when he was getting raped,
yeah,
the rape scene,
the rape happens.
The red ball.
and his
a horrible
whole,
thing to laugh at.
spiel after.
I
He's
know.
like, "So what's next? What's next?" When he starts talking.
Oh
about,
yeah,
it's,
get medieval on his
yeah,
ass.
it's awesome.
So I love that. I love after the fight scene where he's like, "If Butch goes to Indochina, I want a nigga hiding a bowl of rice ready to cap in his
That's
ass."
right.
Love that.
That
So-
visual is hilarious.
Yeah. It's so good. So Marcellus, my favorite Tarantino character. Least favorite, same movie. I'm actually surprised nobody said this. Fabian, how do you say it? Bruce Willis's girl.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
but she's
Ugh.
sweet.
She played a role.
Yeah, I could have done without her.
She wanted a pot.
I get that.
Yeah,
She wanted some pot.
I don't know. If I was Bruce Willis, I would have just gotten the chopper and booked and left her ass.
Wow.
She was a sweetheart.
Yeah, just not my favorite Tarantino character. Fair enough. I got to say, favorites Kill Bill Volume 1. As we've been talking about here, it's just very, very well shot. All the different elements when you have anime in there, the different lighting, and just the scene with the crazy 88s. Of course, the story, the little piggy. When she's in the car trying to get her motion back in her legs.
Oh yeah.
It's,
pussy
it's
wagon.
just great. Yeah.
I'm Buck, and I like it. Fucking who? You gotta hate
Your
Buck.
name's
Oh yeah,
Buck,
right. All right, so
Yeah.
Buck will take Fabian's
Filthy
place then.
fucking
Oh
rapist.
man, I want to change my
All right, there we go. It's universal.
Yeah, fuck Buck.
Buck is fully hated by this podcast.
Great death. Great
Yeah,
death.
he got his.
Oh yeah.
And of course,
Yeah.
growing up being a big Bruce Lee and Kung Fu fan, what's not to love about Kill Bill if you are a Kung Fu fan?
And
Sonny Chiba was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hattori
So-
Hanzo.
Hattori Hanzo.
Kill Bill's your
Hansel.
favorite.
What's that?
Kill Bill's your favorite.
Yep.
That's a
And
good
then
one.
as far as I wouldn't say least, I would definitely say overrated. I got to go with Jackie Brown.
I was about to say that's what I think is the most underrated.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will agree with that.
I think
would
it's
agree
the
with
most
that.
underrated.
I like Jackie Brown not for nothing, but for the soundtrack.
Yeah,
The
the soundtrack's
soundtrack.
great. The dialogues, the Tarantino movies have great dialogue.
Dude, the
period.
Ordell Roby character is. I mean, God, every Sam Jackson character.
But that's actually, I think that's Sam Jackson's favorite character that he's done. Oh, no, I'm sorry. When I was reading the article today, his favorite character is the one he did in Django.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Steven?
Yep. Yeah.
That was a good character.
And then he says, too, he'll actually throw extra N-bombs in there just to level it out. And he did that in Jackie Brown. So that's what I was reading in Jackie Brown, where he was like, I hate to be that nigga that asked him for another nigga a favor. Like, he was like, Tarantino gave me like 4, and I put in like 9 in that sentence.
I just think that's a super underrated movie.
What was
man.
Chris Tucker's
Beaumont.
Beaumont, yeah.
It's not, like I said,
He
it's
put
not
him in the
terrible.
trunk and drove around the corner.
Yeah, it was just like a quick little It's just not, it's not my favorite. Bobby De Niro, I think, is probably the most chill he's ever
He's
been.
hilarious.
He's hilarious, but
That's my least favorite De
Sitting
Niro
around.
character ever.
he doesn't really do much.
doesn't
He's
really
just a
do much
stoner
at all.
Yeah, I think Jerry and I talked about it. We were watching it, and I was like, he's
Like,
probably
I
like,
could
this
have
is
been
acting.
I could have done that.
You wish you did.
Yeah.
Madam Jane Fonda.
As far as favorite Tarantino moments, as we brought up earlier, we are counting, movies that he has written as well. So I have to go with a couple of them. My daughter mentioned the white sheet scene in Django is hysterical.
I gotta watch. I forgot.
It's so good. We'll watch it.
Ungrateful sons of bitches.
shit in this thing.
I just love that you ungrateful sons of bitches. She was up all night. And then, as Saba talked about the beginning of Pulp Fiction. I mean, that scene, of course, leading up to where they get to the room, but when, he's talking about the Big Kahuna burger. And that's that Hawaiian burger joint. And then, may I get a sip
what again,
of your...
motherfucker?
Yeah.
I dare you.
And then, of course, that's the first time we hear him do the Ezekiel 25, what is it, 25,
17.
Yeah. That to me was just awesome and, memorable, of course. But my favorite scene, hands down, has got to be in Natural Born Killers. The interview that takes place in the prison right after as he's telling the joke about the mute kid getting the hand job or whatever. And as
Is that
he's
Robert
plotting.
Downey Jr. that's interviewing him?
Robert Downey Jr. is interviewing him in that.
It's been a while since I've seen
And
it.
to me, that's actually one of my favorite movies of all time. I mean, Woody Harrelson just puts on a powerhouse performance. Robert Downey Jr. being like the scummy, those shows like what were like
Hard Copy.
hard copy kind of reporter, and then Juliette Lewis, and then even like the little cameos in there with
Rodney
Rodney
Dangerfield.
Dangerfield as the dad. Exactly, it's just it's great. And then you have Oliver Stone's just touch on a Tarantino script. I mean, I'm surprised those two haven't worked together more, to be honest with you. But
it wouldn't be fair to the rest of the world.
We could barely handle Natural Born Killers.
I will say one more character
yeah.
that I want to give a shout out to, and I'm surprised you didn't talk about him, but Drexel in True Romance.
Nice.
If you haven't seen True Romance, and we talked about it, that this is he just wrote the script. He didn't. Who directed True Romance?
Tony Scott.
Tony Scott.
Oh yeah.
Tony Scott. Go watch True Romance.
Please
very
go
good.
watch
Yeah.
True
I
Romance.
think
It's
it's
so
White Boy
good.
Day.
You know what we got here, Marty? A motherfucking Charlie Bronson.
All right, we're going to take one more little commercial break here during our Tarantino episode.
And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
We want to take the opportunity to shout out one of our sponsors, Gate City Growlers. They have 20 taps. They specialize in small North Carolina breweries and specialty craft beers. Working with the little guys since 2015. Guys, please stay local. Take care of the local shops.
All right, and we are back, and we have Jerry getting ready to kick off a little Tarantino quotes game for us. I think we're going to do what, best out of three, or whoever gets the three
How are we
first?
gonna buzz?
We'll do this. Well, I figure I've been bitten by the trivia bug, as you know.
Yes, Sunday Speakeasy trivia night.
Trivia, multi-popular trivia at Speakeasy. Anyway,
Good plug.
So what I did was, or what I'll do is I'll just say as soon as I'm done with the quote, just throw your hand up, and the first
Stan will be the
first
judge.
hand, yeah.
So we'll have Stan
the
be the
first
judge.
hand that goes up.
Perfect.
Stan will say who gets to answer.
Stan, our sound guy from On the One Studios, by the way, here in beautiful Greensboro, North Carolina. Check them out when you're in town.
More than a sound guy.
Yes.
There's a special place in our hearts.
All right. So I'm looking for the character's name, and it can be first name, last name. It doesn't matter. You can't just say the actor, though.
Shit.
It has to be either the first name or the last name of the character. You right? You ready?
Ready.
Got it.
Okay, you ready? Au revoir, Shoshana!
Hans Landa.
Correct.
At the beginning
wow.
of Inglourious Bastards when she runs away.
That's right.
All
right,
One,
number
nothing,
two.
Saba.
Do I get bonus points for describing the scene?
9.
You already won. 9. Good job, Jerry, just staying in character.
Question 2. That woman deserves her revenge.
Michael Madsen.
And we deserve
Did
to
you
die.
did you point to me?
Yeah, but
Michael
you said
Madsen.
full name. It's supposed to be character name.
Oh, Bud. Shit. You're right.
Bud.
You're right. You're right.
1-1.
You need guns on me for it be Mexican standoff.
Looking at me, I don't know that.
I don't know.
That's a good one, Jerry.
Yep. Who is it?
That is Sergeant Wilhelm from Inglourious Bastards.
No.
Sorry.
Hugo Stiglitz.
Andolph something?
Number 3. I killed that miserable old fool.
Ely Driver.
L Driver.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
L.
2.
You know what I mean. 2-0 or 2-1.
Get excited.
What?
I am excited.
I feel like he said her name wrong, isn't that?
I said the last name. I
feel like I said
the
it
last name right.
Here we go. This is great. Will you just treat him like Jerry?
Oh, Big Daddy.
Yes!
Jesus. Nice. I like how you
You treat him.
how you threw yourself in there on that too.
You like that shit?
You know Jerry
you
out
treat
there?
him.
Yeah, you treat him
I'm
like
supposed to
Jerry.
treat him like a white man, huh? No. That is not what I said.
That's probably one of the funniest no's in cinematic history. No. Looking
that
like
it?
Colonel
You win?
Sanders.
Is that
I think
3?
so. That's 3.
Shit.
Oh, you got a whole page. Huh?
I was
Page and a half?
gonna go 999.
Oh,
Oh,
Hitler.
that. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
And then at this range, I'm a real Frederick Zola.
Django?
I don't know.
Stiglitz. That's it.
How about this?
No,
Who's-
Jules Winfield. No.
Yeah, he went all Inglourious Bastards on me.
So?
How about this? What's your favorite Tarantino cameo in a movie? And not to put you guys on the
Pulp
spot.
Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah.
With the coffee.
Yeah, he's like, I know how fucking good my coffee is, Julie.
He's neurotic, but
Don't
he's
you
him.
fucking Jimmy me.
He's like, mine don't look like a motherfucking maxi pad. That's the kind of stuff that's going to turn this Jimmy situation.
So they were saying, I was reading, so the same article with Sam Jackson, he was saying that he was very adamant on Jimmy dropping the N-bomb for the, the
Yes.
storage. And so he was like, look, so they came to an agreement because originally Jimmy was supposed to be married to a white girl. So Sam's like, if you're going to use the word like that in this movie,
At the very least.
you have to be, your wife has to be black. And Tarantino was like, okay, I'll meet you in the middle.
What is, what's his wife's name? The situation, the Bonnie situation.
Bonnie situation.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
I
Well-
like the Australian. When he was the Australian in Django, him and his Australian Cowboys crew.
Yeah. Wasn't he the one that blew up, too?
Yes.
Yeah, because he was holding the dynamite.
He freed him, and then Django.
Forgot about that one.
No, Django
Died.
tricked them
Yeah.
into freeing them.
In Reservoir Dogs, it's not really a
And then they
cameo.
blew up.
Yeah, no, 'cause he's in it.
Yeah, he's
he
in it.
does
He's
the
Mr.
whole,
Blue or-
yeah, he does
Yeah.
the whole. He does the like a virgin thing.
Yeah.
I would probably say, yeah, Jimmy.
We love you.
Who
Ted.
was he
Definitely my
in
favorite.
Kill Bill? Was he in Kill Bill? Who was he in
Yeah.
Kill Bill?
Wait, Tarantino?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was that's what I'm talking about. Oh wait, you said Kill Bill.
Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I don't remember seeing him in
was.
Kill Bill.
He's
He wasn't
not.
in Kill Bill. He wasn't in Hateful Eight.
Was he in Jackie Brown?
I don't remember.
I just watched. It's on right now. I just watched it. He's not.
Well, either way, happy birthday to you,
Yeah, man.
Tarantino. We are fans.
We ain't mad at you.
So hopefully the other Tarantino fans around the world enjoy this episode as well. Make sure you hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, all that fun stuff. Any shows you'd like us to cover? Would you like to join us on the show? Contact us, forms on the website, and we'll let Haley take us out.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Pop Culture as Fuck, presented by Multi-Poptural. Be sure to check us out at our website for all the latest news and notes. You can find us at www.popcultureaf.com or multipoptural.com. And we'll see you next week, you filthy animals.
Yes! Yeah! Victory!
And anger management? Fuck anger management.